Hi, and thank you for stopping by. I have been busy of late, but with the hot weather turning the shed into a furnace, I've been finding other things to do. I have made some progress on the Mark II, and even had these lovely boards made, but after a few issues I just can't fix or work around, I've decided to put it to one side and pursue my own design. I'm sure I will go back to it later, but for now I'm focusing my energy here. Let's just take a look at the progress I did make. Here you can see the linear amp that gave a good 15 watts across the band, and it's quite a compact little thing and a dead easy to set up design too. These boards I've had made at PCB Way, and they are very nice indeed, but for my new design they won't really be needed, which is a shame. They would have replaced the DC switching board and the RF switching board covered in previous videos. So if it's something you fancy for your projects, they're up for grabs. Here they are. So what we're going to do, I've decided to follow the bidirectional amplifier route as it makes sense and it keeps things simple. So let's start with a block diagram. So this is a block diagram I've chosen. Antenna, low pass filter. Now this is in line all time. The reason being is between the low pass filter and the band pass filter there will be the amplifier, the PA, that switched in and out, switched out for receive, switched in for transmit. So it won't hurt to put the low pass filter first, then a band pass, and then the first RF amp. I'm hoping this will be controlled by a signal DC level derived from the audio amp, rectified and fed back into here, so it'll form a sort of AGC circuit. This, the first mixer, fed through the VFO, IF amp, crystal filter and another IF amp. These are fixed gain, this is a variable gain amplifier. The crystal filter I'm going to experiment with. All these stages I'm going to experiment with, but I'm going to get it working first and then play around with each stage, trying to just learn and see what different things do. But the crystal filter, I think I'm going to use the filter that I used in the Mark 1. You always like the sound of that. It was a filter from a CB radio, one of the single sideband sort of imported radio from the 80s. It was around about 10.69 megahertz, I think it was. So I'm going to use that. Another mixer, BFO from the Crystal that came as a pair with that. Audio amplifier and output. So that's just the receive. Let's just get a signal out of the thing first, and then we'll swap in different stages, try and improve it, see what changes they make, and then we'll focus on the transmit. So a lot of these stages work both directions. That's where the bidirectional meaning comes from. You only need one amplifier, it works both ways depending on how you wire it up. This is the first stage of the receiver. I know I said the low pass filter was first, but it's not needed for now and should be left until last. This is a 20 meters or 14 megahertz bandpass filter, letting only a narrow band of frequencies through and attenuating all others. It's just a single band, so I'll have to make another one for 7 megahertz or 40 meters, which seems to be the most busy bands, and also use different sidebands, so ideal for setting up the BFO later. Next we have the RF amp board. This design is by W7ZOI Wes Haywood and is referred to as the termination insensitive amplifier. Its gain can be controlled by a simple DC voltage, and the one I made actually measured about 20 decibels to almost zero. This stage is also less fussy about impedance, so matching to say crystal filters is easier. So perfect really. Try to show you a sweep of the 20-meter bandpass filter. Ignore the outer calibration frequency on the spectrum analyzer. I'm using an external marker source and shall manually sweep from just under 14 MHz to about 14.4 MHz. As you can see, the insertion loss is a little high, about 6 decibels, but the span seems nice for the SSB portion of the band.